The BumbleKast is for entertainment purposes only. The host's comments and opinions, and those of their guests, are wholly their own and do not represent that of any other entity. Content is provided as is, with no guarantees of accuracy or timeliness. Unauthorized redistribution or editing of the BumbleKast in whole or in part is strictly prohibited.
Happy New Year, and welcome back to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Hi, Ian. It is, in
Hi,
fact,
Kyle.
2025, and, whoa. Yeah, we're here to start some trouble. We're here to cause problems.
No.
So we're starting off 2025 with problems.
No. We had lots of problems at the end of the year. We're probably going to have lots of other problems. We don't need to make problems. We just need to provide answers over to our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members.
Oh, you're no fun.
Nope, not a bit.
You're the no fun guy. Oh,
I am anti-fun.
Man.
Call me dark sad because I have the anti-fun equation.
Fine. Whatever.
Although I wish I was voiced by Michael Ironside. That'd be fantastic. Oh, my God.
Well, the good news is we have a lot of questions still. So let's go ahead and get into them. Allison S. is going to start us off. Once someone asked you about shipping the Azure Porcupine in the context of mail. So, in the world of Drogoon, how does the mail work? I know there's an underwater race, so are their letters soggy?
And here's a prime example where you could do just a bunch of short stories, kind of slice of life stuff, exploring how the postal system of this universe works, and it would go on forever, and it would be fantastic. And it's another thing on the pile. Thank you, Allison. One more thing to do.
Another thing.
But no, it's fantastic thought experiment, for further world building. And in the realms that are more, we'll say, compliant with Galaxant standards, Humaheim, Drofheim, Ajaheim, and Shantyheim, I would imagine that the postal system is largely similar to our own. Centralized hubs, direct addresses, put your thing in the mail, somebody takes it there. But realms like Nurmenheim and Augustheim, which are a little less, what's a polite term to use? Compliant, I guess we'll say that again. It might come down to more like centralized liaison hubs where one would go to get correspondence or send it off. But for the majority of the populace, they probably wouldn't have a standard postal system. I don't know. I would need to do some research into some real world analogs to see how they did post and see if that makes sense, bringing some authenticity. So, yeah, quite literally. Thank you, Allison, for that inspiration and impetus.
All right. Alpha Mono or Yukin has a question. Have you ever imagined what your cats would be like as Mobians?
Not really, no. I don't know. I don't like that, if that makes any sense.
I understand. I mean, they have distinct personalities, so it's not like it's not something you can just like transfer over to a character like that, I don't think.
I mean, they definitely have their personalities, but
yeah,
I don't know. They're living individuals, and I don't know. It just never occurred to me to give my pets personas.
Yeah, I mean, they already kind of have them,
I mean, not to knock it. If you have a pet and that serves as inspiration for your creations, more power to you. It just not really my thing.
Okay. Here's one from Andrew D. How often do you find some sort of piece of media, be it a game, book, movie, show, etc., that you absolutely love, but no one else that you know seems to know it even exists, so you can't really talk about it with anyone? I know that feeling, so this one's for you two. Go geek out about stuff, go nuts, and enjoy.
I appreciate the offer, but I feel like I'm the one who has to be brought up to speed on stuff. It's like, hey, have you heard of this? No. Is it good? Yes. Add it to the pile.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of the same way. I guess for me, it's like, a lot of racing games are not really mainstream. So, but then again, there's not always much to them. So I mean, like in terms of like what would appeal to like a audience who's not already interested in racing games or anything like that in general, it's kind of like, well, I kind of figure you're probably not going to be super entertained by this, so it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Do we enjoy anything? I don't know about that. Enjoying things? That's no. Who would do that? We're supposed to get on here and complain about everything.
Like my friends who don't share the same circles of entertainment as I do, you know, we can tell each other about stuff and there's the enthusiasm of it. But I feel like with this show in particular, we're all kind of in the same general wavelength.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. I mean,
if there's something you at home haven't heard of, it's more likely because I'm older than you and I don't like being reminded of that.
Yes, it's true. We are old. We know what the skibbities are, dang it. Or do we? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows what the skibbities are. But I do know what Ann Tails is. They're a person asking a question. You've often shared your interest in dinosaurs, and you're also a fan of Dragon Ball Z. But I must ask, what are your thoughts on the goofy dinosaurs found in the Dragon Ball universe?
Love them. Love the designs. Love the fact that there are just dinosaurs running around the world. Love that they can be goofy friends or also threats. You can't go wrong. I mean, dinosaurs are great no matter what.
Yeah. Might as well have more dinosaurs and stuff. Just put dinosaurs in things. It doesn't matter.
I'm sure there will be somebody out there going, hey, there is that exception to the rule. I'm like, prove it. Bring it. I will explain to you why this dinosaur-containing media has something redeeming to it.
Dinosaurs make everything better is what you're saying.
Or at least palatable.
So you're saying that you might actually like rabbits a little if they put dinosaurs in there?
Well, I mean, the dinosaurs have to eat something, don't they?
That's true.
Even the herbivores. Just very pointy teeth. Yeah. Stripping leaves off of trees and skin off of rabbits. Everybody wins.
It's true.
Except the rabbits, but that helps me win. So there you go.
The BumbleKast needs dinosaurs. All right, Buttered Noodles has a question. How would a fight between Orcane and Jeff the land shark from Marvel go? If you aren't familiar with Jeff, he's a small land shark who's been the pet of Gwenpool and Kate Bishop. He gained popularity from the recently released Marvel Rivals, where he has healing water abilities, water bubbles, and can eat and swallow his opponents. Yeah, he sucks. Having played Marvel Rivals quite a bit, he is the bane of our existence. Unless he's on our team, then he is the best boy. He's the best boy when he's on our team, but if he's on the opposite team, he's terrible.
Well, I believe the residents of Merchantport would agree with you, because Orcane and Jeff, it's not really going to be a fight. They're going to be playing.
Yeah,
they're going to be having fun. They're going to be shooting water. They're going to be making little shark-ish dog-like noises, whatever you would call it.
Yeah.
And they're also at the same time destroying structural beams and power washing the fronts off of houses and possibly faces and causing all manner of chicanery. And the locals aren't fond of it, but man, are they just adorable as long as you're not on the receiving end.
Yes. Yes.
Rivals of Aether and Marvel Rivals crossover win.
Yeah, please. Let's do it. Let's have it.
Call it Marvel Rivals of Aether.
Uh-huh. How convenient. All right, here's one from Seaman. Okay, so you don't accept fan ideas from others. What makes your fan ideas so good that every other fan idea has to be denied? What cooling device ideas have you conceived?
To be honest, they're mostly just full of hot air. I'm just circulating the same things over and over, but, whatever comes around goes around.
Yeah, well, I mean, some would say your ideas do blow, so.
Well, they do need an occasional draft.
Yeah, it's true. Comic the Hedgehog has a question. Now that it is 2025, Mario has officially won the BumbleKast Wars and taken over the operation. Wait a minute, we didn't agree to this. Hold on. Therefore, I must know. How is your Italian overlord treating you? Does he feed you well and provide you with enrichment? Or do he and his brother rule the Bumble compound with an iron fist?
One can claim to rule, but they never truly will command our souls. We will rise up, and we will make them Bowser to us.
Yes. Wait, hold on. Is that what you said? You said Bowser. Hold on.
Yes, Bowser instead of Bowser.
Bowser. I see what you did there.
It will be a Koopa de Tot.
Oh, okay. So you're Bumble King Koopa. Got it.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Got it.
I will happily take that title.
Oh, so punny. Even though I said you're not a fun guy. Conga has a question. TF2's mercenaries and Miss Pauling have been trapped by Marasmus to play out the story of the Princess Bride. Who's cast as who? And how badly does it go off the rails by the end? By the way, TF2's final comic issue has finally been released, so go read it.
Oh, I read it, and a 7-year-long release date and a shadow drop that you couldn't ask for more Valve-like release.
I was going to say, that's extremely Valve. Like, holy crap.
All right, Princess Bride, but TF2. Oh, goodness, so many options, options.
I know, yeah.
And I'm blanking on some names, and that's driving me crazy.
Oh, man.
Who did Andre the Giant play?
God, what is his name? I'm forgetting his name, but I know exactly. Fezzik. There we go. Is that his name?
Fezzik, thank you.
Yeah,
Fezzik
yeah.
Heavy.
Thank you, Chad.
Heavy is Fezzik.
Heavy is Fezzik, obviously. Yeah, that's a little too on the nose, but yes, there's no other way. There's no other person. The Dread Pirate Roberts.
Scout.
It has to be Scout, I guess, yeah.
But who's Inigo Montoya?
The spy?
Yes, okay, because he's the only one who's remotely smooth enough to pull that off.
Yeah.
And, he's the only one who really gets a kill out of the whole thing.
True.
With the stabbing. Yeah, all right. Let's see. Who is Prince Humperdinck?
Oh, Prince Humperdinck. Red spy? Blue spy? Whatever one's not.
I mean, I don't want to double up.
Are we going to double up?
I mean, Miss Pauling is Princess Buttercup. That's unavoidable.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I don't know if everybody's going to get an exact 1-to-1, but the soldier has to be the priest. Marriage! What is marriage? No, seriously, nobody can find it for me yet.
Prince Humperdinck is Pyro. There we go. That's a good one. Oh, man.
And we might as well make the 6-fingered man Demo Man, because of
Yeah.
all the identifying physical traits, he's got 6 fingers on his left hand.
As the albino medic?
I guess he would have to be.
I guess he has to be, yeah.
And then Marasmus is the hermit.
And
make the administrator his wife.
There you go. But who's Fred Savage? Oh, man.
He's the NG.
NG.
Not the grandfather telling the story. That would make too much sense. He's NG.
He's the NG. Or maybe Fred Savage's Shell from Portal, and
there we go.
And the grandfather is GLaDOS telling the story.
Why do you wish to persist? You said you did not wish to hear about kissing.
Is that pretty much everybody? I think that's about as much as we could do.
Oh, no. The Sicilian, that's got to be NG.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
You can't win the land war in Asia.
It's true. All right. I think that's enough, right?
Oh, that's plenty.
That's funny for now. But that's funny. That's very good. Thank you, Conga. Here's one from TDRMM. If it turned out that Nermal from Garfield has a fan base in-universe who call themselves Nermies, what would the reaction be?
On my part, amusement.
I mean, I think that would be pretty funny, honestly. I hate it, but it's funny.
We need to normalize this.
Yeah. I guess we have.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get all the way through that sentence. I cracked myself up.
Poor Nermy. Poor Nermal. Nermal doesn't deserve this. Nermal just deserves a nice vacation to Abu Dhabi. Here's one from Double L. So, character creation. Understanding that it will be a variable based on project, when you're working with an artist on the visual design of a new character, how much detail is best to have hammered out at the start, and how much do you just let the artist, as the kids say, cook?
Depends on the character, because sometimes I have a very clear vision in my head. Like, I know exactly what I want to do, and I can't do it, so I just try to be as descriptive as possible. But more often than not, I have the concept, the ideas, what the theme should be, what the feel should be, what a particular design element should be. And then I still try to be as descriptive as possible, but then I let the artist do their thing. Pretty much because they're the artist. That's their skill. That's what they do. So let them do.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I'm not going to stop the artist from arting. It's like, it's their thing. That makes the most sense to me, at least.
Like with the Dragoon cast, I had the general archetypal ideas for the crew, but Adam experimented with things a lot. And we've come and gone back and forth on a few things. And I don't know, I'm really happy with where we are now, but it's been a long journey because, we're creating from nothing.
Yeah. All right, question from Dove. So let's say the BumbleKast was picked up to be a wacky 80s style cartoon about the Bumble King and his two human friends, Ian and Kyle. They go around solving mysteries and playing music in a band. My question is, how long before you have to fight Mystery Inc., and do you guys win?
We last one season, and then we're bought out by Hanna-Barbera and brought back for like one crossover movie for like the hardcore fans to go, I remember that show.
Yeah.
And all it takes is Shaggy. I mean, let's be honest. We've seen what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys are always asking questions, but I'm like, the answer, man.
We got to have the Bumble snacks, though, for the Bumble King.
Crispies.
Bumble Crispies? Okay, that works. So basically what you're saying is we're Josie and the Pussycats. Got it. Figured it out. All right, Flynn Toaster has a question. What relationships do you find most compelling in Arcane, or what are your favorites?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, the two sisters are like the core of the show.
Yeah, but for me, Silco's relationship with Jinx. Was the most fascinating, and it got more interesting as the show went on.
Yeah.
Like, as we got more context for it and more understanding about him, everything took on a brand new light. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it was inconsistent or poorly presented. I feel like it was, this is what they knew from the get-go, and you just didn't understand, and now you do. And the scene the little flashback scene in season 2 especially was like, oh wow, everything clicks now.
Yeah, that really did actually help.
And the relationship between Jace and Victor, just, oh my god, dude, like, that was, to me, that was one of the best tellings of friends turning into enemies without it falling into any of the cliches. Like, Victor, especially, sorry, I can't say his name normally. He has such a wonderful accent.
He really does. He really does, yeah.
Guy's delivery throughout the entire bloody show. Like, his heel turn, such as it was so well executed because he wasn't necessarily wrong. He was never villainous. There was never a point where it's like, oh, he's being written to be bad just for the sake that he has to be bad. No, at no point was he malevolent when he really had every right to be malevolent every now and again.
Yeah.
He genuinely was trying to do good and ultimately saves himself by the end. And Jace, I freaking love Jace. He is such a hot mess.
Yeah.
He tries so hard. He earnestly wants to do good, and all of it is wrong. Everything he does is stupid and wrong and bad. And I can't help but love him for it.
I know.
He really does want to make the world a better place, and everything he does is just a fumble.
He is so dumb, but in a very endearing kind of way, but also like, come on.
Okay, this is a bit of a spoiler, so if you haven't seen it yet, please skip ahead. Watch the show. It's not flawless, nothing is, but it's some of the most engaging fun I've had in media in a while.
Yeah.
For me, like the signature definition of Jace and Victor is when Jace, first gets busted for his illegal research.
Yeah.
And he's contemplating suicide. And Victor comes up to him and kind of talks him down. And then fast forward to Victor has unleashed the devil. He has inadvertently murdered someone. His soul is crushed and he's about to jump off the same place. And Jace stops him in the most glib fashion. It's like, you putz! You have no idea what this guy is going through. And you're like, oh, hey, you feeling kind of down too? No, you lost your funding. You are socially ostracized. Victor is going through hell, dude, and you have no idea, but you're so confident that you can handle this. But it was genuine is what gets me. He genuinely cared for Victor. They were the best of friends, and Jace would do anything and did do anything to save his friend in the end. And I think that's why I love their dynamic so much, is that Jace is so irredeemably flawed, but he's still a genuinely good guy. And he's what Victor needed in the end.
Yeah. He's so freaking dumb. But that's what's kind of great about him. I don't know what it is.
And also, shoot, I can never remember her name. The general lady. Mbessa. Everything, every scene she's in, gold. My God.
Yeah.
What's a fascinating relationship? I don't know. What scene is she in and who is she talking to? There you go.
Yeah. I really think that
glory.
The characters in Arcane are just their interactions, their relationships with each other is just what the heck is going on here? It's just
the nuance,
so
in
much
facial animations,
and
the line delivery is just spectacular.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm spoiled now.
Yeah. I really feel kind of bad for Vi and Caitlyn, though. Their relationship, or not their relationship, just their characters overall, especially in season 2, kind of got, I feel squashed, flattened, overrun. There's so much between them that's not explored, and there's a lot about Caitlyn's character, especially. She doesn't really get a reckoning for anything she's done. Which is what? Wait a minute, what about all the things you did, all that bad stuff,
She's like Jace, she keeps failing upward, but she gets away with it.
Yeah, she does, she really does. And I like Vi and Caitlyn so much, but it's come on, I don't know. That's a frustrating one for me. But man, it's so good. It's so good. I'm just thinking about Jace now. It's God, you freaking idiot himbo. That's really what he is.
I mean, you can see how he just
he's trying,
reactionary to everything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this. Oh, this didn't work. Well, I'm going to go back this way. Whoops, I overcorrected. Well, I'm going to go this way. Whoops, I overcorrected again.
He's
a sock in the wind.
He's so earnest.
Oh God,
it's just so funny. Also kind of frustrating, but very funny, and just man, such a good show though. All right. I think we've spent enough time on this one. Let's keep going with this one from Happy Times. If the first annual robot tournament wasn't a wily plot, which of the 8 competing robot masters would most likely have become champion? As a reminder, 6's lineup was Blizzard Man, Centaur Man, Flame Man, Night Man, Plant Man, Tomahawk Man, Wind Man, and Yamato Man.
Thank you for that quick guide, so I didn't have to wiki it. I have no scientific basis on this. I just want to say Centaur Man because he's cool.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're all pretty freaking cool. I mean, even Plant Man, dude. Plant Man rules. I'm not gonna hear any Plant Man hate. Not gonna hear any Plant Man hate. No Plant Man hate around here. That guy's great. He also has a kick-ass theme song.
Centaur Man was in the arcade fighter. Were any of those others in there?
I think Night Man might have been. At least. Okay. I can't remember. Plant Man was, yeah. Okay.
Well, still, I'm going to go with Centaur Man just out of rule of cool.
I mean, he is pretty cool. Here's one from Hero Squad. New isekai adventure. A certain evil doctor decides to give his isekai discourse to Wario. With the guy gone, Wario accidentally starts his isekai journey. How does it go for him in Albuquerque, where Weird Al is located?
He's not going to lose his lucky snorkel, I'll tell you that.
I'm glad Wario has a lucky snorkel.
But otherwise, I imagine the song would go exactly as before. I could see Wario's mother chaining him to the wall and force feeding him sauerkraut. That explains his character motivation to me.
Yeah, it really does. Oh, man. As long as he has his tray table up.
I mean, he's going to do mini games on the way down. That's how he survives.
Yeah.
And if anyone is going to go all the way to Albuquerque just to stay at a Holiday Inn, that's Wario. It's the same thing. It's Wario singing the whole time.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Honestly, some of the bits almost sound like a WarioWare minigame.
They very well could be, yeah.
Check in the back for what pastries you have. If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. Tray table up.
Yeah. It's Albuquerque. All right, here's one from Just a Kyle. No relation. In the past, a lot of people have asked questions that can only be met with the, quote, I can't talk about it banner. Or it's potentially part of the ever-elusive Lost Redacted tales. Understandably so. Understandably so. My question is, would it be all right for someone to just open up the master list and record themselves answering those questions with their own headcanons? Seeing as you aren't an official spokesperson, it seems like that doesn't cross any lines. I mean, we're all fans.
Yeah, if you want to.
Sure, go for it.
I mean, part of the appeal of this show is how do I walk this fine line?
It's okay, Ian. You can say you're the appeal of the show. It's fine.
I don't want to put it that way. Part of the appeal of the show is I do have some official capacity, or I'm at least official adjacent. People assume I know what I'm talking about, which is a bold assumption, and I do try not to disappoint.
Yeah, that is a very bold assumption.
Anybody else? Why would anyone else want to hear your particular headcanon when they have their own headcanon, is what I'm getting at, without trying to sound like an absolute jerk. But yeah, I mean, if you want to go through the master list and say, here's what I think these answers are, go for it. Just, make it clear that you're not giving away any BumbleKast secrets. We already had folks confused about just how official my answers are. We don't want folks confused that other people are answering for us.
Other confusion. There's so many confusion.
Hopeless anger. Nah. So, short answer, it's basically fanfic, so go nuts.
Sure.
I ain't gonna police the internet.
I mean, whatever. Yeah. I don't know. It's very strange. But hey, whatever you like to do. Lorenzo H has a question. A lot of seeking work in comics and other fields of creative writing is opportunity-based, but another part of that is preparation and practice. To that point, it helps to get feedback from other professionals in the field. Knowing you're a busy man and your time has value, would you ever be open to giving pointers to upcoming writers on their scripts for non-verboten IP stuff? If so, how much would you charge for such a thing?
I have done such a thing in the past, and depends kind of on what your budget is. I try to have indie rates versus professional rates because I know how much it can be. It adds up real fast. For some folks, they prefer that I read through the whole project and give like in-depth feedback. Others have just wanted to pop on for like a 1 or 2 hour call to just talk it out and that sort of thing. Depends on your time, depends on your budget and all that. So if you have a project, email me. All my contact info is on bumbleking.com and we work something out.
Alrighty. Manny Hats has a question. How much of yourself do you put into your writing? Write what you know is common advice, but I'd rather not make a protagonist who's essentially me but cool. How does one take inspiration from their experiences without doing that? Is it even necessary?
I don't feel like I can look at myself subjectively enough to say how much of me is in my writing. And the few times I have looked at that, I'm kind of frightened at how much armchair psychologist I am with myself. It's like, is this really your deep-seated issues in this character? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Shut up, me. All right. By the way, here's my bill. Oh my God, I charge an arm and a leg.
Literally.
No one is completely unbiased, though. So I am sure my personal views and experiences and whatnot affect how I write anything. But when I'm approaching a project, I do try to find its voice and do it as true to it as it can be. It's going to be affected by me. It's going to be affected by whoever writes it. But I don't think about it in terms of how I want to write it necessarily. It's just how I think it would work best in its own context.
How would that apply to something like Dragoon, though, where it's wholly your creation?
That's a lot of stumbling around in the dark.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
There's a question we got coming up where I'm honestly been chewing on it for a bit. It's like, okay, what would the characters think about this? Well, this would be the funny answer, but is that true to them? Because of X, Y, and Z I've already established for them, would their mentality be this way or would it be that way? And I have to learn my own series as I'm making it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say, okay, this is right, and although there are sometimes when something clicked. I was working on book 2 and there was just this one particular moment of resolution that just was not clicking. And then the callback to an earlier scene hit and it's like, no, this is where it makes sense. This is where the themes book into each other. This is how you resolve it. And oh man, was that satisfying when it clicked into place. It's like doing chiropractic to yourself and your back just pops and everything is like colorful again and you can smell the flowers and birds are chirping. There's light and love in the universe again.
All right, Mixer17 has a question. First Mortal Kombat game and favorite 3 characters, if either of you have them. Mine was Mortal Kombat 9, and my 3 favorites are Striker, Smoke, and Cabal. Needless to say, that unfortunate combination made the Revenant arc for the next 2 games a complete waste of 10 years for disappointing nothing. Sorry about that. I mean, I didn't do it, but
I've never actually sat down and played any of them because I'm not really a big fighting game guy in general.
Yeah.
Did sit down and watch through the story mode of MK1 though, and really liked it for the most part. I didn't like the Return of the Multiverse myself. I was really excited for the brand new fresh take. And for me, the moment that just won me over entirely is when Liu Kang comes to Johnny Cage's house for the first time and meets him for the first time, so to speak. And just the little smile of recognition and just, hello, old friend, that he gives Johnny, and Johnny has no idea what's going on. That warmed my heart. It was one of the most sincere and wonderful character moments. And it made me happy.
I just like Noob Saibot because his name is funny.
I mean, if we're going that route, Goro, because he looks awesome.
Goro's a freaking goofy guy, yeah.
And I mean, I like the journey. I like the journey that Liu Kang's gone on. I like the new journey that Raiden is going on,
Mm-hmm.
and Goro just because big man forearm punchy punch.
He's very funny. Yeah. I'm still a sucker for Sonya Blade. She's cool. Let's see. I'm trying to think. My first Mortal Kombat game was, I guess technically the first one, but I didn't really get into it, I think, until Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the N64. I remember so many nights playing that game. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Just, I don't know, tons of fun. It's so unbalanced and so ridiculous, but it was good stuff. It was fun. Nicky Rabot has a question. Hello, Ian. I've been looking through your portfolio and found you co-created and wrote a series called Sylvana. It says that the series is incomplete, and when trying to research it, I only found the Kickstarter, which seemed to do very well. The website for the series is defunct, and I could find little else on it. So, Ian, what happened? Why is there little evidence of its existence, and why was it never released?
Okay, sit down, kiddos. We have to go into the long, long ago.
Story time.
So, way, way back in the day, there's an artist named Dawn Best.
Mm-hmm.
She was, I believe, the first Sonic fan to go pro. I can't remember if her or Jeff Axer got published first, but I'm pretty sure it was her.
She was amongst the first at the very least, yeah.
It was her or Jeff. And very early on in the fandom day, she made her own Sonic-esque webcomic called Bash Bat. And the parallels were obvious, but, we're kids and it's fine. And over the years, she had tinkered with it, trying to turn it into something more standalone. And I liked it in all iterations. So at one point, we got together to try it again, get it going. And it's her series, her project, but I was on board as writer and trying to kind of get the narrative a little more focused. And I forget how far along we got with it, but then I don't know, the project fell through, and Dawn has not spoken of it since. So she would have a better idea of where it is now and what's going on with it. But we tried, and we got a certain amount of the way through. I don't even know if you can find it anymore. Well, as Nikki said, you can't find it online. So
yeah,
not all projects have a happy ending, sadly.
Alrighty. One last question before we take a break. It's from Noni. Quote, Smurfs are just boomer minions, unquote. Discuss.
Now I hear the minions singing the Smurf song, and I hate that for myself.
Aren't the minions just boomer minions?
You're going to have to qualify that one.
I mean, Facebook memes, minion memes on Facebook. There's a lot of them. Boomers love minions, man.
Yeah, all right. I cannot argue that.
No, yeah, they do. I don't know if do they even remember Smurfs at this point? I'm not sure.
God,
they might be getting in their old age. They might be forgetting things.
That's Smurfing terrifying.
Maybe the Smurfs are having a bit of a resurgence, and now the Smurfs are millennial minions. I don't
Generation
know.
Smurf.
I don't know, man. I don't know. This feels kind of weirdly ageist. I don't know what's up with that. The rabbits are the Gen Z Wiggles. What? Okay. Oh, now this is going to lead to Smurfs X Minions generations at this point. We're just putting words together. I think we're losing it, Ian. We probably should take this break sooner rather than later.
Please, I do not want a theory craft who would win in a fight between Gru and Gargamel.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with more on the BumbleKast.
We're the bee and the berry. I'm the bee.
Straws. No, I'm the bee.
Oh, my bad. We can cut that, right?
No, we can cut that.
Okay. We're the bee and the berry.
I'm the bee.
And I'm Strawberry.
And The Bee and the Berry is an irregularly scheduled podcast where we talk all things Sonic, writing fan fiction, and fan creation.
We snoop around at fan events, review the latest and hottest Sonic content, and host interviews with our fellow Sonic fan creators.
You know, just girly things.
And hey, if you want, you can totally send us any discussion topics or questions you'd like us to talk about, and we might answer them.
Or we might not.
But hey, you never know. You can find us on Twitter, Blue Sky, Tumblr, and YouTube at The Be The Berry.
Okay, we're running out of time here. Gotta grow fast.
Ciao!
We're back with a question from Pale. Worlds collide, except instead of Mega Man and the Blue Rodent, it's Mega Man and Rivals of Aether. This means that it would be Dr. Wily and Loxodont needing to work together as the combined casts of Mega Man and Rivals of Aether worked against them. Do the two evil conquerors get along at all? How does it go? It can be Mecha Loxodont or Current Loxodont, whichever you think is more fun.
Ooh. Maybe start off with regular Loxodont and then have the big twist that he becomes Mecha Loxodont through Wily Tech.
There you go.
Didn't see that one coming. The thing is, who would be the face of the Rivals characters? I mean, Zetterburn is kind of it, unofficially.
Or Claire.
But, yeah, maybe Claren, because Claren's whole deal is rescuing the past. And she absolutely wants to stab Loxodont in the face repeatedly. So maybe that's the angle, is you have Mega Man and Claren rescuing the rival masters, we'll call them, from the combined machinations of Wily and Loxodont.
I think that would work.
And then you have Rock getting powers based off the various rivals. And can't go wrong there.
No. No, that would be pretty cool.
Zetter Flamethrower, Force Smoke Bomb, or Cane Cannon, or Cannon. That's a bit of a reach.
You have to workshop that one.
Yeah, but that would be neat. And then, they're still not really friends, but there's a common enemy to come against.
Yeah.
So they all join up, Team Mega Man and Clarence. Yeah, no, I dig it. And then for the big final fight, Mega Man is going to copy Claren's tech. So you basically have a Claren Mega Man with a beam saber. I dig it.
A bit of a
I'm
throwback.
on board.
There you go. Yeah. All right.
And then for the stinger of the whole thing, Claren goes back to her own time. It's still ruined. What happened? And that's when X and Zero step out going, we got the message that was left for us. We've come to help.
Yes. It's time.
Get some kind of spooky combo of Sigma and Mecha Loxodont, but that's an answer for another time.
Yes, that can be the next one. Princess Ellie has a question. With the announcement of Shadow Labyrinth, the new dark take on Pac-Man the Secret Level episode is based on, and the fact that it's been trying to tie into the lore of other Namco games such as Xevious and the UGSF saga, I was wondering what your thoughts are on it as someone who loves to mine lore like that. If you don't know what the UGSF is, it's an official timeline Namco put out for a few of their games connecting Dig Dug, Galaga, and a whole host of other arcade games into one long storyline. This is the first time I'm hearing of this, Ian, and it sounds insane.
Yes, and yes. I have not heard of this. I want to deep dive right now.
It sounds absolutely ridiculous, and it blows my mind that it's even a thing. Thank you, Namco.
This sounds like the Mad Crusade I would love to do. Just deep dive on all of these old properties, find the thinnest, barest connection, and say, no, it's legitimately the prequel to this because of, haha.
Holy crap. Okay, it's the United Galaxy Space Force is what UGSF stands for.
Love it.
It is a fictional universe created by Namco that pretty much combines all of their shooter games, a lot of other arcade games, mostly a lot of shooters though, which makes sense. So yeah, that's freaking wild.
No, I'm on board. I will have to look into this more later, but
even Ace Combat is included on there? What the heck? Okay.
Wholeheartedly applaud this effort. It sounds like fun.
That is amazing. Holy crap. I can't believe I didn't know about this. This is fantastic. Wow. Yeah. No, this is great. Yeah. All right. Professor Scruffybat has a question. A slight variation on a question I asked last month. Ian and Kyle, this time it's your turn to rob 3 Las Vegas casinos. Who will you choose for Bumble Kings 11, and what's the plan? You may choose up to 9 fictional characters across any media, except the Ocean's movies. That's too easy. To join the 2 of you on this heist.
Well, dang it, you already got my initial answer.
What?
Let's go with the Ocean's 11 crew. They did it.
Well, yeah, but, we gotta have a little more fun than that.
I don't want fun. I want money.
Well, why not both?
Fair enough. Good answer. I don't know. Maybe I should just mind the USGF roster. They did all the work for me.
The UGSF is freaking amazing.
Bring in Dark Pac-Man and all of them. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, for sure. That's a Scrooge McDuck line if I've ever heard one.
Well, since we touched on some of this earlier, yeah, why not Pac-Man? He's a resourceful individual.
Yes, he is.
He's good at navigating tight corridors.
It's true.
Bring in Claren. Maybe she has some kind of future insights into how this will go.
Bring in the TF2 spy as Inigo Montoya.
Yeah. And the engineer, we need him for the EMP pulse.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Good point. Glomgold. We're gonna bring Glomgold in. He can be the distraction.
What are you talking about? I don't rob, I own it. Well, it's going to be a lot of hard work pulling this off. I'm in.
Oh, man. You got to have a shark boy. Good old Jeff the land shark.
I mean, if things go bad, he'll just eat all the people pursuing us.
Yeah, pretty much.
And while we're at it, Orcane can turn into a bottle of water. That can slip under some stuff. Sure.
Hey, there you go. How many are we up to? I haven't even been keeping track.
I don't know, but we're going to throw X and 0 in there just for fun. I mean, somebody's got to look good in the tuxes.
Somebody's got to be the competent ones. Because it ain't us.
And we're just kind of sitting back in the chairs going, all right, team, execute the plan. See you back at base.
What is the plan? Who knows? Figure it out.
They work for us.
Why would we have Sans Undertale in there? I don't know.
He just picks up a casino and shakes until all the money falls out.
That's pretty much it. Yep.
Can Sans knock over a casino? You bet.
Yeah, literally.
He'll definitely chip in. After all, it's all hands on deck.
Boo. Boo this man. Boo.
And we get away scot-free once everything's lost in the shuffle. He'd sign up just because I'm such a card.
Yeah. Rabbit Haver has a question. Hello, boy.
It certainly would suit him. Okay, I'm done.
Damn it, Ian. Rabbit Haver has a question. Hello, boys. If you thought you could stop me, you were wrong. I plan on bothering Ian Flynn until I die. Anyway, Ian, have you seen Goncharov? And if so, what do you think of the famous Katya subplot? Is it truly the best mafia movie ever made?
None of these words are familiar to me. I am sorry.
I think it was supposed to be funnier if you hadn't seen it, so I think that's good.
Well, now I'm intrigued because now we have this whole extended universe in Namco to research, and now I have to look up Goncharov, so
yeah,
add it to the pile.
Well, don't feel bad. No one's seen it. Sam Cybercat has a question. I think you've mentioned before that you're familiar with Supergiant's Hades, so I have to ask, if a comic based on the game was made and you were the lead writer, assuming you had complete free reign in this scenario, are there any characters you'd like to write for? either from the game itself or Greek myths in general. For the sake of spoilers, you can disregard anything added in Hades 2 early access if you're not familiar with it.
Yeah, I'm avoiding Hades 2 spoilers, so I don't know what territory they're covering there. Doing anything in the Hades universe would be extremely intimidating because, good glory, the level of writing in that is peak. Like, I don't know if I can match that, to be perfectly honest. Like, there's stuff that I enjoy, and then there's stuff that I'm like, this is so good, it's kind of intimidating, and I know I can't replicate this. So I feel like you could set it up for some easy standalone stories, somewhat episodic or somewhat serialized, given just the very nature of it. You know, Zagreus attempting to get out, running into various perils and obstacles, and either making it through or not. And then dealing with the aftermath. The format itself could be easy enough. It's just writing to that pedigree. I don't know if I'm worthy.
Oh, you could step up. All right, Scurvy Pirate Dog has a question. Dr. Wily gets a new ability. Every time he's defeated, he's isekai'd into a new dimension. After Mega Man defeats him, he's isekai'd into the world of Futurama. How does Wily handle this world in comparison to his future world?
He spends the entire time arguing with Farnsworth.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's like him and Farnsworth just butting heads the whole time.
Until he realizes that all the robots come from Mom's factory, so he attempts to woo Mom to take over the factory. And it works, much to his chagrin. And something Isekai Adventures continue. No, I don't know. How does this go? I mean, Mom can't off him. That's too logical.
Maybe he's stuck there.
Farnsworth can't kill him off in a jealous rage. That's too logical. So maybe Farnsworth storms Mom's facility, trying to woo her back just out of spite. And Wily uses this opportunity to try to sneak out, but doesn't realize that's not the exit door. That's the door to the incinerator. There we go.
Okay, you found it. Okay. You did it, Ian. Here's one from Speedweed. I've been transfixed on a Metroid suit Samus versus Dark Samus confrontation like it's Goku and Vegeta versus Broly, and I need to trouble you on your thoughts with it, especially on a narrative perspective, this late in the Metroid timeline. Metroid Prime versus Last Metroid, baby.
The baby?
The baby.
So which are we doing? Are we doing Metroid Prime versus the baby? Or are we talking Metroid suit Samus versus Dark Samus?
I'm not 100% sure. Why not both?
If we're talking Metroid Prime versus the baby, I'm going to give it to the baby because it has a pretty good track record. I mean, it ain't Mother Brain.
Yeah.
Mostly.
True. Also took down Kraid, right? If I remember right.
Did it?
Helped? I can't remember. Maybe it was Mother Brain I'm thinking of, not Kraid. Ah, well.
And yeah, that's a little cheating because that's when it's all grown up, but it's still the baby. So
yeah,
if we're talking Metroid Suit Samus and Dark Samus, then can we just get Studio Trigger to animate that and just say here, go nuts?
Please.
And the thing, maybe I have my lore wrong. Please correct me in the comments below. But I could see it as being pretty darn brutal and nasty and reshaping the surface of various planets. And it looks like Dark Samus is going to get the upper hand until Metroid Suit Samus whips out that special side effect of the Metroid suit being that it absorbs energy. And she just consumes Dark Samus. And then you have like safely filtered phase-on Metroid suit Samus.
Interesting. Yes.
You thought she was a world buster before.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Here's one from Spoiler 1001. Congrats, Ian. You've been selected to write a Lego short retelling Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. How would you mesh the tones of both properties to create a fun family special?
Interesting challenge, what with all the murder.
Just base it on the NES game.
We wanted to be coherent.
Yeah, well.
I can kind of imagine Lego Jekyll going through his transformation and then just like taking off one arm and putting on a
And
hide
different arm, yeah.
and then just popping off the Jekyll head and putting on the hide head.
There you go. That would work.
And then for the serial killing,
They're Legos. They get better.
maybe just go full Looney Tunes with it, where he's really just trying to ask directions around town because he's Mr. Hyde. He doesn't actually know where anything is. That's Jekyll's department, and everyone's creeped out, so they run off a bridge or into a wall or under a horse-drawn carriage and just explode into Lego bits.
Hey. Well, he's serial killing. He kills cereal brands. He's killing cereal. I don't know.
My God, 3 boxes emptied in one day. What kind of monster could do this?
It's true. Look out, Captain. Watch out, Sonny. Fly away, Sam. Get out of here.
Chief Inspector, what do you think drives such a man? All I can say is that he's clearly cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
There you go. Starsuka has a question. Ian, given it's been a few years since your first pitch, would you ever be interested in pitching another Super Mario comic to Nintendo through IDW?
If the opportunity arises, sure. The lack of enthusiasm in my voice comes from just my general experience with working with Nintendo and other stories I have heard in licensing with Nintendo. It's doesn't fill me with confidence that things would go smoothly, but things can change. So, yeah, if the stars align, superstars, perhaps, power stars, moons, maybe. Sure, I'll give it another shot.
I'm still very sad that ARMS went the way it did, in that it didn't.
Yep.
System 509 has a question. So, Ian, it's time for the hard-hitting questions. How often do people disguise 2 questions as one by putting an "and" in between them? And how do you feel about it?
Frequently, and there's some consternation.
Yeah, they do it. They do it quite frequently. Sometimes they put even more than one "and" in there.
Except for this one. This one is amusing.
This is a very entertaining question. Thank you. But yeah. I mean, all you have to do is go look at the master list and
Control F and computer crashes.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, here's one from the Aussie Blue. Ian, how does it feel to know that millions read and enjoy your work from England to Australia and all over the world? I'm just shocked that there's people all over the world who even listen to this show. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing here? It's terrifying.
I don't think about it. It doesn't
No.
register to me. I cannot really conceive of that. It's I do my work, I have a good time doing it, and I hope that people are entertained. And then I'll do a show, and there will just be people the entire day coming up and just being happy with something I wrote. And it's like, wow.
Sounds fake.
Yeah, it really does.
It doesn't sound real.
That imposter syndrome is deeply rooted.
Yeah. I just appreciate that the world is made up of England, Australia, and elsewhere.
Hey, I've been to elsewhere.
But have you been to Saint Elsewhere?
I have not.
Okay. I do like that show is like the nexus of television.
Can't wait for Pac-Man to show up.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, he got busted up pretty bad robbing the casino for us.
Thanks, Pac-Man. Cyberspace Coco has a question. You've mentioned before that if the comic kept going and followed your plan, it would more or less be caught up with the games by now. I'm assuming they mean the Mega Man comic. Given that Capcom releases a new Mega Man game once a decade, this would basically mean there wouldn't be anything left to adapt now. I know it was way down the line, but were there any ideas on where to take the comic once you got to that point?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of spin-offs.
A ton of spin-offs. whatever subplots or original plots that were introduced up to that point could all be followed up on or resolved. Any concepts introduced from Mega Man 4 and onward that weren't fully explored in their own games could be looked into. And then the crazy notion, like if we got that far, would be to round it out, find the conclusion to Classic and the bridge into X. Which,
if they'd let
I
you.
think I have a reasonably elegant way of doing that, but
Interesting. Keep that one in the back pocket. You might need it for later.
Yep. Lost Mega Man files. Why not?
All right, the Oddly Roger has a question. Hey, Ian, if you had a choice to work on a reboot or continuation of any Disney afternoon show, which one would it be, and what would you like to do with it? And Kyle, who would you like to have remake the show's theme song?
Gargoyles or Gummy Bears?
Aha.
I don't care who.
Gargoyles.
Give me the keys of that castle. I'll work with anybody. Just give me the keys of those castles.
Who would be good to remake the freaking Gummy Bears or Gargoyles themes? God, I'm trying to think of like a. Okay, let's use Power Glove's Gummy Bears theme. Why not? I'm pretty sure they covered that. I could see that. Yeah. Yep. And I don't remember Gargoyle's theme nearly as much. Like, I'm kind of blanking on it.
It was mostly a rousing orchestral score, instrumental with the voiceover of what the show is kind of over it.
Yeah. It wasn't really like a proper theme song, so yeah, it was. Get that.
The instrumental is iconic enough, but it isn't singable like Gummy Bears.
No.
Or mix the two and just have Keith David do a spoken word version of the Gummy Bear theme.
Okay.
Tell me that wouldn't be dramatic and epic as all hell.
I mean, it would be. Yes. All right, the Phantomist has a question. You've had experience writing villains that thread the needle between being comedic and monstrous, so I want to ask your perspective on balancing those two aspects. Here's to making this new year and new era of the BumbleKast the best it can be.
To thread that needle, you have to make sure that the needle is there to be threaded.
Yeah.
For your entertaining, lovable villains, they can never go too far. Or if they go really darn far, it needs to be within a context that doesn't feel too grounded in real world villainy. Like if you are in a world that is just bombastic and fantastic in all of its elements, the villain can do some pretty crazy stuff and it feels like it's fitting into the world. But if you have something that's a little more grounded with more reasonable limitations, if the villain does something too big, too monstrous, then it feels more personal, less forgivable. I get for like in Mega Man, let's say, because Wily is just delightful, but he is evil.
Yeah.
In his own right. But it's a world of googly-eyed, colorful, themed named robots. It's a very gentle world overall.
In a way.
And, the worst of what he's doing is stealing. He's stealing Robot Masters. He's
causing a lot of destruction. He destroyed parts of the city at least in the intro to Mega Man 7.
You can rebuild that.
And I doubt that people were evacuated beforehand. He's caused a worldwide blackout. Yeah, there's things like that,
Human casualties don't really come into play. Well, there's a good distinction right there, is that with the Raw Moon arc, at least the way we treated it, Wily is selfish and villainous, but he isn't aware of just how much collateral damage he's doing. But Raw Moon, with his global blackout, you see the fallout and how cold and callous it is towards that. And you're like, oh, he is the more serious villain that we want to get blown up. But we're okay with Wily getting his first round of, no, please forgive me. I've reformed, I promise.
Okay, I guess.
It comes down to just the core elements. Like, what is the world like that the villain or antagonist is interacting with? How legitimate is their claim to what their shaking up the status quo, and what is their interaction with the protagonist or the heroes? Is it something lighthearted? Is it something fun? What are the stakes? And as long as you keep everything balanced in such a way that it doesn't become too petty or mean or destructive, you're allowed to feel entertained by it. It can still be fun and funny.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes a villain gets so monstrous that they loop back around into being funny again.
Mm-hmm.
It's that's always kind of funny.
I mean, I guess another example would be like the Ice King and the Lich out of Adventure Time, where the Lich is never funny. The Lich is honestly kind of disturbing, and you don't want him to be redeemed necessarily. You don't want to face him because he does horrible things with no remorse. Whereas the Ice King is really creepy when you get down to it. Incredibly powerful and destructive, but there's this innocence to him. There's a genuine desire to be loved that you can identify with, and that makes it a little more forgivable.
Alrighty. Let's move on to this question here from Twilord. Got feedback from smart folk who heard a tabletop RPG system of mine in action and who saw my notes for Yu-Gi-Oh!, Star Fox, and Zelda variants. Was told to try it with a unique original universe too. How the hell do I do that? Or more reasonably to ask, how did you build out Drogoon?
One idea at a time.
You still are, technically.
Yeah, and lots and lots and lots of revision. A lot of it comes from asking the question of, okay, why? Like, I want Wind to be able to do these incredible feats of strength and magic. Okay, why is she able to do that? Well, because she's a Drogoon. All right. Why are Drogoon able to do that? What about them physiologically is able to do this?
Spoiler alert.
Why is it?
Spoiler alert.
Wait. It's the name of the book and she's the main character. I think they can put that in there.
Okay.
You know, with Foreign, you know, okay, he's an Ajay and he looks like this. All right. Why do Ajay look like this? Why are they like this? What is it about their home realm that necessitates these physical characteristics? And if this is what an Ajay looks like, and if this is what their land is like, what does that do to influence the culture, the clothing, the food? With these elements, how do we define everything else from there? In terms of a game system, I'll defer to you on that. You've got more experience with that sort of thing than I do. But it's just, you know, taking one thing that you're certain of, whether it's I like this theme, or I like this idea for a character, or I like this idea for a magic system, and just putting it down, saying, okay, there's my anchor point. This is my idea, and pull the thread in every direction and see where it takes you. And sometimes it brings you back to the start and you're like, this doesn't work anymore. I have to revise. Okay, this is my new anchor point. Start pulling them threads and you're going to get lost for days. Take lots of notes.
All right, here's one from Vineclad. You like to cook. Ever thought of having a cooking stream to teach some of us how to make a good meal?
I apologize if I misled you. I do not like to cook.
I mean, I don't either.
I mean, I'm kind of decent at it.
The difference is you're actually pretty good at it. I'm not. I mean,
I'm
I could
okay,
be, but I just don't want to.
But it stresses me out. You have to get the proper ingredients. You have to make sure that they're cooked properly. You have to make sure that everything's timed right. You have to ensure that you have things prepped or whatever, and then you have to clean up afterwards. No, I don't enjoy cooking. It's just a necessity of life.
Yeah.
If I could get by on photosynthesis,
Yeah. There's probably some better people to watch for cooking streams than us. But, you know.
Although, now that you mention it, I have been tempted on occasion to look into producing a cooking show that is just about the absolute basics. Like, how do I feed myself in as few steps as possible? What 3 things can I buy from the grocery store that will keep in the refrigerator for like a week and I don't have to think about cooking ever again? How do I make bachelor chow?
I mean, that could be interesting.
Or, here's the cheap box stuff. How do you take that and just zhuzh it up a little so it tastes like food instead of box stuff?
Yeah.
You know?
A cooking show produced by someone who doesn't like to cook. That could actually be an interesting concept.
Yeah, it's just, then I think about what I would have to do in terms of coming up with recipes and doing the research and experimenting to make sure that it works. And then, actually getting a camera and learning how to edit this kind of thing and produce a It's like, that sounds like more work than actually cooking. So
yeah, you have to cook and do all that stuff.
If somebody wants to do all the heavy lifting, I'll be happy to get in front of a camera. We'll do business.
Yeah. Our resident chef, Noni, who is one of the Bumble crew and who is one of the artists for our amazing thumbnails, they love cooking and they have tons of fun with it. So I would defer to them, honestly. They're like, they work at a bakery. They cook all sorts of stuff. They have a degree in cooking, like literally. It's
wow.
Like, yeah, Noni's the chef. So yeah, go talk to them. I'm looking forward to trying their cooking finally at MagFest. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be delicious. They are wrong about beans and chili, though. Beans definitely go in chili, but that's okay. That's okay. Nobody's perfect. And we got one from Wildcard717. Drogoon question. What are the crew's New Year's resolutions? Who's the first to fail and who succeeds?
This is the one I was talking about earlier. It seems like a very simple question, and I'm sitting here chewing on it going, what would they do? Who are these people?
Who are they, Ian? You made them. I mean, they're your people.
I know, but it's... And here I start pulling the thread. Well, do they even celebrate New Year's? Is this something that Galaxant recognizes? What is a year in this universe? And then, I get lost in the woods. So, Wind, she'll make a New Year's resolution. It's something that Foreign kind of instilled in her in an attempt to get her to focus and show some form of discipline, except it backfired, and she decides that she's going to do 100 of something every year. Eat 100 of something, perform 100 feats of some kind, something ridiculous and over the top, and you would never normally reasonably assume you can do this, but hey, it's a New Year's resolution. She has a whole year to do this. She's going to find a way, and usually doesn't, whether it's due to illness or injury or distraction. Something happens. Foreign does not so much because he likes the practice. It's that it's kind of tradition. And again, if he can get Wind to focus on some form of self-discipline, why not? And it drives her up the wall because she says, well, if you're so devoted to this idea, what is your New Year's resolution? And same one as every year. Be better. Oh, come on. That's a cop-out. It's a lot deeper than you give it credit for. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
This would be probably Lissy's first New Year's resolution because she has not been with the crew very long. And she would take this very seriously.
Deadly seriously, yes.
This is what you're supposed to do at New Year, and you're supposed to do this. You have a whole year to make it work. Oh, goodness, that's no time at all. Well, she will learn a new word and a new skill to help with the crew and be the bestest mountain hunter ever. And everyone's just completely charmed and in love with her because Lissy is nothing but sunshine and light.
She is adorable. It's true.
Jobin doesn't bother with it. It's ridiculous. It's nonsense. He doesn't understand how this is spread so far across the realms. Every day is like the next. The sun shines, the sun doesn't. You tick it off on a calendar. Just get by day to day. That's enough for him. Why add an extra stressor to it?
Joe Boone
making things so bloody complicated.
Joe Boone is a mood, man. I'm like so on his wavelength. Oh man, he's a great guy. I like him. I mean, I like them all. It's a Drogoon's fantastic. Please go read First Pass. But yeah. All right, one last request for you, Ian. It's from
Yeah.
Juki. I think that's how you pronounce that. I'm not 100% sure. Jukis? I don't know. But
Gookies.
Gookies. They want you to please sing Seagulls Stop It Now from Bad Lip Reading. Optional, Kyle doing Luke's and or R2D2's parts.
Well, you asked very politely, and as those who were around for the live recording can attest, we tried. We tried. It was not pretty. It did not go well. Everyone told me not to stroll on that beach. It's not like a real song. It's really hard to follow.
It is a real... What are you talking about, man? It's a real song. It's the realest song that's ever reeled.
Rockin' and rolling down to the beach I'm strolling, but the seagulls get my head and tangles. Back up now, everyone be sorry on that beach. And singles gonna come and go nut. And they did. They do about it. Nope.
This is awful. What are you doing?
I don't know if I can do this. So, apologies, but no, I don't think I can quite do this one. And that is a personal failing on my part.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
A little music can't help. Rockin', rockin' and rollin'. Down to the beach I'm strolling, but the seagulls poke at my head. Not fun. I said, seagulls, stop it now. Everyone told me not to stroll on that beach. Said seagulls gonna come poke me in the coconut. And they did. And they did. Had me going like, nothing I could do but yell when these birds attacked me. When I tried to run, I fell, and then these kids started laughing. And then, got hit in the neck with a hacky sack. Where'd it come from? Now run, 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 jump. I can be a backpack while you run. Run, 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 jump. Now stop, put me down. I love to groove and boogie. Yeah.
Great.
Show you some dance moves.
No, I don't want you to.
If I had your giant feet out there on the beach, could have outrun those birds.
You're a psycho wiener.
Let my grandma bite her.
Stop it, please. Don't hit me. Please. Don't hit me.
Come on, man. Quit that bang.
Hey, what's that stank?
You put a fish in our basket.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I did that.
You owe me an apology.
Just hold your breath and see when the time is right. Birds will bite your face. Yeah. Run, 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 jump. I can be a backpack while you run. Swing from a hairy vine. I can be a backpack while you climb. Stand on one hand and lift. Rocks with your special gift. Run, 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 jump. Now breathe. That's good. Like that. Like that. One day I was walking and I found this big log. Then I rolled the log over. Underneath was a tiny little stick. And I was like, that log had a child. Listen, boy, someday when you are older, you could get hit by a boulder. While you're lying there screaming, come help me, please. The seagulls, poke your knees. Stop it now.
And that's going to wrap us up for our very first episode of 2025. Big thank you to our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members for continuing to support us and giving us so much material to start the year off with. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
Take care, everybody. Watch out on the beach. Stop that banging. All right. That was so goofy.
Like, maybe if I record the individual lines and just have you...
I can do that. That's
puzzle piece
fine.
it in?
That's fine. That's fine. I can do that.
Frankenstein that thing together?
I can do that. That's probably how it was recorded to begin with.
Probably. 1 second.
Okay. What's going on here? Help. Help, computer. Is it the kitten? Are the cats doing stuff?
No, phone was ringing and it's looks like it's telemarketer call.
Oh.
Just, this late in the evening, it's like, oh, wait, is this something serious? No.
Spam risk. I'm a computer. Stop all the downloading.
All right.
Okay.
Are we good? Mike,
Yeah.
are you going to stay in place? Cool.
I'm good. I
No,
don't know
you're not.
about you. Oh. Pork chop sandwiches.
Okay, I think we're stable.
Okay. Speak for yourself. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
Well, I managed to spend an hour making dinner for Lee and then throw half of it on the floor and
Oh.
screamed obscenities hard enough and long enough. I'm actually kind of tired physically. So
Uh-oh.
just have to wake up a bit for this here BumbleKast.
Dinner doesn't normally go on the floor, but hey, at least the cat's got something. I guess. Well, now they don't need dinner. They already got it.
And then I was putting some of the leftovers away and the flat object on the flat surface decided to slide forward and
Rude.
knock it towards the floor. And I think I actually managed to glare at it hard enough that it decided not to fully flip over. like it knew better. It's like, whoa, damn, okay, chill.
Oh, man. You're so
I'm
mad.
not
You're
sure
so mad at the universe, even it's like, never mind.
Yeah, I honestly think I managed to rage something into not being worse, and
Well,
that's a terrible power to unlock.
wow. We've learned something about you today. Frightening.
See if I can harness it before I give myself a heart attack before 50.
Yeah, probably don't do that. All right. Hashtag furious smile.
Furious George, the angriest little monkey. Here he comes, the shiv clutched in both hands. Furious George, the angriest little monkey. Where's he going? Don't know, get out of his way.
Yeah.
That's why he has no tail.
Well, that explains that. Hi, Lee.
Kyle says hi.
Hi.
Hi.